Hello, friends. Welcome back to Amanda's Bookish Adventures, and it is my March book haul part one. I did not film the last book haul for February, and I'm okay with that. If you watched the shorts, you've seen them. You've seen those books anyway. But let's talk about part one. So we have sequels, and like I've done in the past, I'll show you the sequel and then put it down. We have about, I think, 12 books to talk about. And I'm excited because I'm excited for the sequels. I'm excited for a majority of these books. And I think March did really good with publishing. So we have These Runes Beneath Us by Sasha E. Sloan. Sprayed Edges is Violets. So on the back it says she saved the prince. Now she must survive his world. Lyra and her mother have been on the run from the human kingdom of Verndale for as long as she can remember. She is an elf-born with a magical talent, a double offense in a kingdom determined to eradicate both. Under her mother's watchful protection, Lyra learns the rules that keep her alive. Stay hidden, stay vigilant, and above all, stay calm, lest her magic flare out of control. But when she finds a boy being attacked by a deadly monster in the forest, Lyra risks everything by using magic to save him. She doesn't expect him to survive, and she doesn't expect him to be a human prince. And offer her position at the palace as the royal apothecary, Lyra seizes the chance to step into the light and prove to her mother she can control her unwieldly talent. But Verndale is not the paradise it seems. The nobles are ruthless, the secrets are deadly, and Cygnus, the brooding royal healer, seems determined to expose Lyra's every flaw. As she navigates a world of glittering gowns, clashing steel, and stolen kisses, Lyra must keep her identity hidden, even from the prince she's falling for. But beneath the palace lies a darkness far more dangerous than any secret. And when Lyra and Cygnus, I really know I'm gonna butcher these names, but I have like no chance unless I listen to the audiobook for correction. Uncover a hidden world that can change everything. She must decide who to trust and how much she's willing to risk for a love that was never meant to be. So I'm actually really excited. It's been a while since I've read an elf book. I mean, unless like it was a fantasy romance. And sorry, that angle is driving me crazy. Let's just lower that. It sounds really good, and the violets, I mean, so pretty. So we also have Her Hidden Fire. I hate the sticker that has popped up on every single book. It's been popping up on the Kindle versions too, which is driving me crazy. So we have Her Hidden Fire by, I'm not saying that. I will butcher that so badly, but there's the author's name. There's the sprayed edges. In a world where dragons soar through the skies and magical abilities that are an elite privilege, the ruling family of Alem's Keep is on a knife edge. Can their son, Ion, prove that he can channel magic, or will his entire family be cast out in disgrace? Edna, a lowly servant girl who loves Ion, is shocked to discover shortly before the test that she can wield magic herself. It's extremely rare for a girl to have this talent, especially outside the few great families. At Ion's moment of truth, when it's clear he's about to fall, Edna makes a desperate gamble to save him from humiliation by pretending her magic is his, forfeiting her own claim to power. Her decision sends them both to an academy of magic, where she must shield her secret from every grim master and scheming apprentice, especially the handsome but aromatic Gry. As Edna enters the whirlwind of patriarchy, class, heartache, and jealousy, she also learns about magic's terrible costs, the human price that chancellors are willing to pay to maintain their power. This sounds really good. I know it came out in March, which it's fitting for the edges and everything else. That would have been a book that should have came out in February, so we could have read it in March. The Instagram ad for this book. I'm not kidding. I know nothing about it. The Instagram ad had me at the cover and the edges. I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be fun. Even the end papers are amazing. Kasara used to be a masterful con artist, choosing her target, building trust, judging precise moment to make her move. Now, she's keeping her head down and working off a lengthy prison sentence. But Kashara's past catches up to her. When she's offered a deal, her freedom in exchange for one last con. Infiltrate the fated library of Armand Lynn. When Kasara goes undercover as the new librarian assistant, she enters an enchanting world, bringing with books and magical creatures, tempting her with a life she can never have. But Kasara's real future depends on her charge, the long con to bring down the librarian. Unfortunately, Alistair is as prickly as he is handsome, and he's hiding a beastly transformation that can destroy him. Kasara must decide to take down Alistair and destroy the only place that has ever felt like home, or be herself for once in life and risking losing it all. This sounds really good, and I'm hoping to read it really soon. I just think it sounds perfect. I have a lot of books like this that I want to kind of binge this year, but this ad alone, I didn't even know the description. The ad and the sprayed edges. They just keep adding to my collection. I have a sequel, and I've had that kept getting delayed. It could have been the other author that's book kept getting delayed, but I'm very excited for The Dragon and the Sun Lotus by Amelia Wenzel. Those sprayed edges. I'm planning to binge the two books together because they sound so amazing, and I wanted to read them back to back, especially when it's like folklore. I like to do it because it makes sense, because I lose my motivation. Let me be honest, if I have to reread the book, I will lose my motivation if it's not something I want to read at that moment. We have To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast. Get in, get out, don't fall in love. Sprayed edges. In the city of Davinium, the law is simple. Commit a crime and your punishment is a life sentence in Edlock. Raven Thorn is the Davinium's most notorious bounty hunter, living in the edge of society, but when her younger brother Jed is sentenced to Edlock, Raven will do anything to save him, even if it means getting herself arrested. Now trapped in a prison where danger lurks around every corner, Raven must use all her cunning strength to protect Jed and herself, if it is to complete her perilous mission. But there's one obstacle she never expected: the prison guard, who stirs something deep inside her. Man she should hate. The man whose true motives seem impossible to pin down in a world where trust is a weapon and love is a liability, and Raven must decide if she's willing to risk everything to tear down a vicious system. Sounds perfect. Instagram ad. I'm not gonna lie. They get me every time. So we have Dire Bound by Sable Sorson. Love is the most dangerous bond. Marion Cooper has, oh, those end pages. Sorry. Has always hated the bonded elite warriors who form mental links with the massive vicious dire wolves they ride. The bonded live in luxury, while Marilyn struggles to keep her family out of poverty, being poor. And when her little sister, Selah, is kidnapped and stolen across the bounty hunters by the immortal monsters her country has spent centuries fighting, Marin's world falls apart. Desperate to cross the front line and save her sister, Marlin enlists in the army and enthroned in the deadly bonding trials where one means death. Now Marilyn must survive 4 months of brutal training at the castle, but she is bounded to a feral direwolf who refuses to communicate. Through the other trainees are out to spill her common blood. Oh, that's funny. And her cold and beautiful instructor, Stark, Theron is eager to punish any weakness. Everything is a competition. Everyone is out to get her. Everyone except the dangerously handsome Crown Prince, whose attention adds another lethal target to her back. In a castle where every smile hides a knife and the halls hide dark secrets. Bound or bled, duel or die, failure is ruin. Look how big that is. We have a direct sequel, The Deathless Ones by Emma Hamm, and it is a direct sequel. I looked to make sure. I'm excited though because I want to read the first one and I kind of waited for the second one. The third one should be coming out in a couple months, so maybe I will wait until they're all out and just binge them. We have Anderson and Bloom by Jennifer Duggan. Not get comfortable. The cover is really pretty. Former child star Anderson Andy Durham is hiding, has been for a long time. If she's honest with herself, which she isn't, when she suddenly cut off all ties and left LA 6 years earlier to work in a flower shop in a coastal New England, she just wasn't running away from her toxic relationships, embezzling agents, and all the rest of Hollywood's life. She was running to something, sort of, if you squinted. And if you accept that she was running toward was little more than a vacation daydream she had made up with her infamous ex and former co-star Nicole Nikki Price. Then Nikki announces her plan to write a tell-all book about growing up in Hollywood and their tumultuous times on Nikki and Andy's show. And Andy's feelings of hurt and betrayal come rushing back. Emboldened by anger and maybe one too many drinks, Andy does something very stupid. She texts Nikki for the first time in years. No one was more shocked than Andy when Nikki actually shows up at the flower shop looking for answers. Andy is fully prepared to send Nikki away, but it seems Nikki has some unfinished business. She knows that she can finally. Oh, now that she knows where Andy has been hiding, she's not letting her go. Excuse me, I don't know if that was a cough or a cough. I mean, a burp or a cough. And she finally knows where Andy's hiding. She's not letting her go easily, and with each passing encounter, Andy cannot deny the shimmering physical attraction, threatening to boil over every time they get close. But can the two of them finally reunite without wrecking Andy's carefully rebuilt life? Or is she setting herself up for fresh heartbreak? Let me just put this on this stack because that one stack's about to fall over. So, as you've seen, I've been slowly collecting these books as they've been coming out. It is book 3 of the series. We have Psycho Beast. I know it's a reverse harem, or it's a white choose. So, I haven't been reading them. I kind of want to wait till the full series is out because then how I like my white chooses. I like to binge them. One of my favorite blogs I've ever done on this channel was the Madison Kate series. Even though I have the other books in that world, I have never continued on. I need to. I think it'd be fun too, especially. But I like to do a good binge. So we have Volume 1, Blood and Ruin by Callie Hart. I believe the second book's coming out too. What happens in the dark never stays in the dark. As one of Seattle's most dangerous, feared men, Seth Mayfair always carried out the job he was sent on without a second thought. Drugs, guns, dirty money, all fair game. But even his warped moral code has limits. When Zeth's employer decides buying and selling kidnapped women is a lucrative sideline, Zeth, usually uncomplicated life, suddenly becomes very complicated indeed. And his biggest complication goes by the name of Sloane Romera. Sloane's desperately needs to find her sister, and she knows she can't do it alone. Zeth is terrifying, scandalously hot, comes fully loaded with a terrible attitude and wicked smile. It also looks like he's Sloane's only hope. Can she work with the guy without getting herself killed, losing her job, or following head over heels in love? I think it sounds really fun. I think it says volume 2, so maybe it's a direct series. I don't know. I'm going to check to see if I need to pre-order book 2, the next volume. We have another sequel, and I think it's the final. in this series, and I really hope it is because I want to do a binge read of this series. I originally, because it was indie and then it's got picked up, so all the books I own from that series is the sprayed edges, everything, and I have waited. People have like sent clips of like not clips, quotes on TikTok, so I've avoided a lot, but I finally have, I believe, all of them in my hands, so I cannot wait to do a binge of the Bloodwing Academy series. Hopefully, this final book. If not, I still will probably just binge the first three. So, The Wings That Bind by Bria Bullen. So, that is it for part one of this book haul. I hope you enjoyed. If you've read any of these books, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Bye for now.